Good morning, everyone. This is Vinay, and I'm going to talk to you regarding the Supreme Court judgment. These are all our landmark judgment, very important for examination point of view. And please, if you have time, please go through all these cases in details. I will try to explain you whatever possible because there are so many cases to cover in this lecture series. I will not be going through so deeply. I will be explaining you little bit and through this case law history list. So let's talk about the landmark judgment. I'm going to talk to you some important cases, not all cases which is mentioned here. So let's start with the A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras 1950 case. This is a very old case, and in this Article 21 was in question, whether the meaning of life and personal liberty under Article 21. So Article 21 talks about right and personal liberty, and in A.K. Gopalan case it was discussed, it was taken into consideration by Supreme Court, and Supreme Court was given has given the view of Article 21 and right of life and personal liberty. Khadak Singh case is very important. It is called Khadak Singh versus the State of Uttar Pradesh 1964 case. In this case again it was Article 21 was discussed, right to privacy. As you know that as per the recent judgment, Article 21 also considers privacy. Privacy is a part of right to life and personal liberty, and in Khadak Singh case also it was discussed that okay, private life is different and each and every individual should have a private life. Khadak Singh used to be a very famous dacoit, and he was a wanted person. He was out of bail, and police used to go to his home and used to knock and check whether he is there in the home or not. So this he challenged this activity done by police, as police is a part of the state. So it was the violation of fundamental right, and Supreme Court held that it is a fundamental it is the violation of fundamental right and Article 21. Nath case, again very famous case. It is called Nath versus State of Punjab. 11 judge bench, they discussed the constitutional validity of fundamental rights and what and all thing is being done, changes in fundamental right by Constitution of India and Parliament of India was discussed. Now P. Rajendran versus the State of Madras is one of the again famous case. It's the 1968 case, and it was with regard to the caste-based reservation. So whether caste-based reservation has to be there or not, because when we talk about right of fundamental right, equality and equality before of law and equal protection of law, if we see that Article 14 talks about equality, and here there are some reservation given also to the some particular classes of society. So it was challenged in this case, and this case was held that okay, due to based on the certain provision, it is with some restriction, it should be there to upliftment of the special segment of the society. Now Keswanand Bharti case is a very old case, 1973 case. It is called Keswanand Bharti versus the State of Kerala, and this case also, this is one of the landmark judgment of Supreme Court with regard to the fundamental right, basic structure of constitution and lot more. It decided lot of issue, and this case is always remembered in constitutional law history. In this case, this was a land dispute by Keswanand Bharti in Kerala, and slowly it moved to some other direction, and it was a question of law whether the fundamental right has to be can be amended or not, whether the preamble of constitution can be amended or not, what can be amended in constitution and what cannot be, what is basic structure of constitution. Everything was taken into consideration in Keswanand Bharti case. Now let's come to Srimati Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan case. You know, Raj Narayan was the person who fought against Indira Gandhi election, and earlier in the first election he lost he lost it. He went and filed a case against Indira Gandhi that it is violation of fundamental right. Right of equality is violated. He was Indira Gandhi misused her position of prime minister, and because of that he lost. And Supreme Court gave judgment in favor of Raj Narayan, and Raj Narayan was again election was done, and Raj Narayan won the election that time. So this is again a very famous case. You all should know about Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan case. ADM Jabalpur versus S. Shukla 1976 case. It is right to approach court under Article 14, 21 and 22 remains suspended during the emergency. So if you remember, we had emergency imposed by Indira Gandhi around 31 years ago, and there was a lot of problem. Sorry, it was almost 30 years ago. So in that case, in the provision of emergency, the fundamental right should be suspended, but there are some fundamental rights which cannot be suspended, because right of life, whatever is the situation, whether it is emergency or not, but fundamental right cannot be suspended. No one has got right to take someone's life, equality, and equal protection of law. So this all topic were discussed in ADM Jabalpur versus Shukla case in 1976 during emergency. Now Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India, this is again very famous case. It was related to the fundamental right violation of Maneka Gandhi. Fundamental right to go outside. The passport confiscation case was there, where Maneka Gandhi passport was seized by the government and passport authorities of India, and the same thing was challenged by Maneka Gandhi, and finally it was held that yes, it is a violation of fundamental right of Maneka Gandhi, and passport has to be issued immediately. So these are all very famous cases. I will request you to go through this case in details, and let me know if you have any suggestion, any feedback I can do in some different way. I will be talking you today some cases, and remaining cases will be discussed later. So let's discuss the next case, which is called Minerva Mills versus Union of India 1980. So this case was very famous case again. It was related to the amendment done by the parliament, and what is the limit of the amendment. So parliament amending power is limited by the amending of constitution. This power cannot be converted into an unlimited power. So amendment can be done by the parliament, but parliament is not having the ultimate power to do the amendment. They cannot amend everything of the constitution. And if you remember the Keswanand Bharti case, the basic structure issue, the same thing was discussed again in Minerva Mill case. Okay, now Khatri versus the state of Bihar. It was for the free legal aid and poor for indigent accused who was there in jail for very long time. So this case also you can go through, do some research, get some details, and come up with your feedback. SP Gupta versus Union of India, this is also called judge transfer case, and in this case the judge was transferred and it was challenged in the Supreme Court of India. This is again, so the question will be asked like SP Gupta versus State of India, Union of India case is related to what? Fundamental right, Article 32, or judge transfer case, or none of the above, all of these. So you'll have to select it's a judge transfer case. So this you should not know everything. They will not ask you to write the illustration of the case, but they will ask you to write what is all about, where it is connected, and from what provision of constitution it is connected. Now there is another case called Bachchan Singh versus the state of Punjab. Again, protection through Article 14, right of equality, Article 29, Article 19. You go through that. There are a lot of freedom of speech, expression, movement, assembly, and all. Lot of things are discussed. Freedom to conduct business, carry out business. Everything is done. Article 21. I just now I told you it is about right of life and personal liberty. So these all cases are very important. If you have it is suggested that you people go check, do some research and write these cases. Cases are very important. Okay, now I am going to come to this case called Kher Singh versus Union of India. Kher Singh versus Union of India case, 1976 case. This is, if you remember, Indira Gandhi was killed by some of the security personnel, and Kher Singh was one of the person. Okay, so in this president, we all know that president has pardon power. He can give pardon to any person, and he can reduce the sentence, and he can reduce the death sentence. He can change the death sentence to lifetime imprisonment and all. There are so many powers given to President of India. So Kher Singh contacted the President of India. He knocked the door for the justice and asked for relief, but it was not given, and the same thing was challenged by Kher Singh, and it was held that it cannot be. It can be taken by the judiciary review. It has to be taken care by the Supreme Court in case of any violation is there. Now let's come to this all or not so famous case. Supreme Court Advocate on Record Association versus Union of India. Here, role of Supreme Court and independence of judiciary in appointment of judges. So judges appointment case. See, you guys have to see all the issues with regard to appointment of judges, with regard to judiciary, judicial review, judicial separation, power, and all things. Wherever you find this kind of cases, this will be very, very, very useful for you if you go through and have some document ready, do some practice, and remember these cases, because these all are very, very important for the examination point of view. So as of now, these many cases, I will tell you some more cases. Let's discuss that. I will not be talking to all the cases. Anyway, it is there. You can note it down. You can pause the video, see all cases, do some research. Okay, so I am going to talk Vellore Citizen Welfare Forum versus Union of India 1976 case. It was on curbing the industrial pollution and the enforcement of popular pays principle. So if you remember, what is popular pay principle means, a person who has got bigger pocket, a person who is more popular, he has to pay for the damages. This is if you see torts, if in compensation, it will be, this principle is there, popular pays or rich person pays or bigger has to pay the compensation. Now here in this case, if it was held by Supreme Court that if these big companies, they are utilizing the resources from the society, and if there is any requirement, they have to do some kind of arrangement to reduce the pollution from this atmosphere. Now D.K. Basu versus State of West Bengal. This is again the case which is related to guidelines to be followed in all cases, arrest or detention. So you know the arrest and detention are very, very important in terms of controlling someone's activity, arresting, putting them. It's a kind of deterrent theory of punishment. So arrest also is the first step of that punishment. If you arrest, then only you can punish someone. So arrest was discussed in this case. D.K. Basu, State of West Bengal. Go through the case and please let me know with your feedback. I will, if you need more information, illustration for any particular case, do let me know. I will explain you from my side. Okay, MC Mehta versus Kamal Nath. You know, MC Mehta is a very, very famous social activist, environmentalist, and a very, very important person in India. He has done a lot of things for our society, which society cannot give him back what he has done for us, but he is a person with a great high regard and well respected person, and he has done lot of social work in terms of improving the quality of the air, society, and the social segment of the society. Now let's go to MC Mehta case. It was like Ecology Society, West Bengal Housing Board versus Vijendras. This case also with regard to Supreme Court is Supreme Court not to interfere in matters of policy unless the action of the government is unconstitutional or ultra vires. So what is mean by ultra vires? Ultra vires means beyond the power, which is not in the power, which the power which cannot be exercised, or if someone has exercised something which is ultra vires, means he is not supposed to do that, and it is wrong, and it will not hold good for long. X versus Y hospital. It was for right of equality. AIDS patient does not have right to marry till cured. right to privacy is not absolute. So that's what I was talking. We have got lot of rights from the Constitution of India, but some rights are not absolute. You cannot have always right to privacy. Suppose, for example, if a person has committed some error, a terrorist who is staying in India, and the police is intercepting the call, police is listening the call record, understanding what is the person doing, and if the same person talks some private stuff to his wife or his girlfriend, he cannot claim the benefit that his right of privacy is violated, because it is not an absolute right, it is with a certain reasonable restriction. And let's go to see some more cases. Okay, this all cases are not so famous. I will be talking only famous cases because we have limited time, and in that we have to see all these topics. But I will request you go through all these cases, see what and all thing required for you, and how much you can go through that. Okay. So basically these are the famous cases I have noted down. It's from a book. So please let me know if you require the book, or if you require the photo of the or PDF. I will share my mobile number in the description, and please ping me so that I will send you this same file if you require for your exam preparation. See, exam preparation is very important. You should be practicing a lot. You should not be very much, I mean to say that you should not be only based on or dependent on few books, but you should explore all the possible ways to learn something new. Okay, so I will tell you something about this and all cases. I think this is some famous quotation of law which if you find, you let me know. I will text you this these 3 pages. These 3 pages are very important in terms of judgment of Supreme Court, and the judgment has changed the society a lot, has impacted the society in good way. So please let me know. And in case if you find any interesting case, if you find something which is not there in this presentation, but if you know any good case, please do let us know, because it's the time of sharing. I will not be charging anything for my lectures, my discussions. Similarly, I will expect if you know something, please let us know. We all will learn together and we all will grow together. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your discussion and time. Have a nice day.